7 light novel series make their debut in the month of October. One of them, probably one of the most requested light novel series that I know a lot of people are going to be excited because it's finally arriving. Hello everybody and welcome to the monthly look at what light novel series are making their debut, this being for October of 2020. If you want to check out all of the light novels that are being released in the month of October, and even going forward, you can check out EnglishLightNovels.com. Just go to the pre-orders page. I got the link in the description down below. So now starting off, and I admit this is a little bit of a cheat. It actually is releasing September 29th. I apparently was a bit of a hot mess in the September video and missed 2 titles. One of them came out in the middle of the month and then this one, and since this came out late in the month, I figured I'll just tuck it into the October video. And this one is actually a bit of a different title, so it's kind of good to cover it. Although it does have, of course, a tie to a very popular franchise. This one on September 29th is Pretty Boy Detective Club. And it's from Nishio Ishin of the Monogatari fandom. So, you kind of have an idea of what you're getting into. This one is being released by Vertical. There's currently 11 volumes in Japan. I think it's complete, but I'm not 100% sure on that. From the renowned author Nishio Ishin, the creator of Bakemonogatari, Zarigoto series, and Katanagatari, comes a new, innovative mystery series, The Pretty Boy Detectives Club. Mayumi Dojima, a second-year student at the exclusive Yubiwa Academy Middle School, has lost something. A star she glimpsed just once, 10 long years ago. But help is on the way in the form of the unofficial, secretive, and thoroughly mysterious Pretty Boy Detective Club. Rumored to solve problems within the school, most of which they themselves may well have created, for reasons aesthetic rather than financial, these 5 gorgeous boys sweep Mayumi into their world of excitement, danger, and overwhelming beauty. So begins the thrilling new mystery series from renowned author Nishio Ishin. So yes, this is a brand new series from Nishio Ishin. Of course, we have other detective stories of his in the Zarigoto series, which is much more of a modern world set. I've just started reading Pretty Boy Detective Club, and I'll let you know what my thoughts are once I finish it. On October 1st, this one coming to us from 7 Seas, and it's a digital pre-release. The actual print edition won't be coming out until January. And that is going to be Muscles Are Better Than Magic. The print release, like I said, coming out January 5th, 2021. There's 3 volumes for this series, and it is complete. For 10 years, Yuri has lived alone in the forest, training his muscles day and night to hone his body into the ultimate fighting machine. But when the beautiful elf Philia stumbles upon his home, she begs him to help her escape the forest. There's just one problem. Yuri's never left the woods, and besides, this odd couple can't seem to agree on anything. It's the beginning of a wacky journey through strange lands and stranger adventures. So this is not an isekai. It was kind of funny because we just actually had Wataru, which was about a dude who honed his muscles and fighting abilities, being isekai to a fantasy world. And this one, a little bit different. I kind of think it's going to be quite a different story, though, because Wataru, the dude, is a little bit more jacked up on fighting everybody in the world, apparently. Whereas this guy sounds more like the somewhat innocent, I've just lived my life quietly in the woods and trained every day. Could be a very different take, although it does sound like it is most definitely a comedy. And I've heard from a few people that, yes, it takes a very funny route when it comes to the whole muscles are better than magic. I'll probably check this one out, but I will probably wait until January when it comes out in print, and I'll let you know what I think then. On October 7th, and this one is coming from J Novel Club, and it's actually just a single volume release. And this one is A Lily Blooms in Another World. Miyako Florence isn't sad when her fiancé breaks off their engagement after 2 years. It's all according to plan. Whisked to the world of her favorite otome game, Miyako frees herself from a dull noble to pursue her true soulmate, the game's villainous Fuuka Hamilton. Proud Fuuka only has eyes for their mutual ex-fiancé. Miyako confesses her love to Fuuka and proposes that they run away together. Fuuka agrees on one condition. Miyako must make her say, "I'm happy," in 14 days. With conniving nobles, strange diseases, and magical rituals pulling them apart, can Miyako win the villain's heart? A tentative bud blossoms in this twisting romance from the author of Sexiled. So, obviously, if you've read Sexiled, very much Yuri tones in that novel. This one sounds like it's just embraced the Yuri entirely. A lot of people obviously saying it sounds incredibly similar to the latest Seven Seas release, I'm in Love with the Villainess, which, by the way, is getting some ridiculously good reviews. However, this one I still would like to check out because I did enjoy Sexiled, and especially if like the characters written with a bit of sass, like the characters in Sexiled, I think this one could be a lot of fun. And like I said, it's only a single release, so you know, if you're looking for some extra Yuri and otome gaming and that kind of stuff, this might be definitely a good title to check out. Then on October 20th, oh, October 20th, how you will go down in light novel fandom infamy for finally bringing us School DxD. Yes, the title coming from Yen On. This is probably like this, along with Date Alive, was probably the title that for years now, every time somebody announced they were going to do a licensing announcement, inevitably people would mention either School DxD or Date Alive, which, spoilers if you haven't been keeping up, Date Alive has also been licensed by Yen On, but it's not coming out for a couple more months, so we'll talk about it later. In any case, DxD finally arrives October 20th. I'll say that tentatively because, you know, there's still a couple weeks until then, and Yen Press loves to change release dates. But as of recording this today, Amazon still says it's coming out October 20th. There are 25 volumes of this series. It is complete, actually, in Japan. Now, there is a sequel series which, as I understand it, just continues the story. It's not like it's a total break and then moves on. This is actually kind of like the sequel is actually like the final arc of the story. And that's just called Shin School DxD. In any case, most of Issei Hyodo's perverted life has been filled with dreams about having a harem. So it's not a great sign when one of his dates ends with his murder. He's fortunate enough to be revived by a beautiful girl. But his luck ends after he discovers his school is filled to the brim with deadly angels and demons. Now, I don't really have to say much about this, because this one has had numerous anime series. As I said, it is an older series, 25 volumes just for this part of the series. So if you know anything about light novels, chances are you have some idea of what this series is. I have it on good authority from Bio Gundam that it's really cool and involves a tons of different mythologies and everything else. And don't judge it just because Opie also play a big part in it. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a series with a healthy dose of ecchi, but it sounds like it does have some storyline there to back itself up. Also on October 20th from Yen On, we get In the Land of Leadale. This one has 5 volumes currently in Japan. It's still ongoing. The last thing she can remember is her life support beginning to fail. Her body had suffered terribly after a fateful accident, and the only freedom left in her life came from the VR world of Leadale. How did she end up in a place that looks exactly like her game, except that 200 years have apparently gone by? So this one, I The art looks awesome on this one. I'm going to say that right out the gate. You know, we always talk, don't judge a book by its cover, but man, the cover and the interior art looks really good on this one. And I must say, again, it sounds like an isekai to a game world. Yes, I know, we've had many of those. We will probably continue to get many of those. But I am always interested a little bit more when it's one of those situations where a noticeable gap in time has elapsed between when the character was playing it as a game and when the character enters into it as a world. I'm always curious to see how that plays out, and I really actually haven't read many that are like that yet. We are getting more of them as they come along, but so this one, I'm very curious about what this one will be like. Plus, you know, it looks like it's an overpowered female main character, which, I don't know, I've been having a real thing for lately, so this one looks like it's totally up my alley. Finally, on October 20th from Yen On, we have a novel release, and that is 3 Days of Happiness. In this dark, moody love story, college student Kusunoki decides to sell off the next 30 years of his life at a mysterious shop in exchange for money and maybe a chance to find something worth living for. I don't know a whole lot about this, but I have seen some people talking about it, that they've read the manga or what have you, and that they say it's excellent. So I don't do a lot of single novel release reviews here, but this might definitely be one that I make an exception for and check out. And then our last book that is premiering, our last series coming out in October. It's coming October 29th, and this is a 7 Seas release, and it is, again, an ebook advance release. The print release, again, coming out January 5th of 2021. There's currently 6 volumes of this series. It's still ongoing in Japan, and that is Berserk of Gluttony. A strikingly illustrated dark fantasy in which a frail young man's terrible magic could lead him to ultimate power. Fate Graphite has never tasted real power. Born with the magical skill Gluttony, he constantly hungers in a way that can't be satiated, and has been shunned and looked down upon his entire life. One day, while working as a gatekeeper for a noble family and fighting a trespassing thief, he discovers Gluttony's true power. When he kills someone, he devours their skills and feeds his gnawing hunger at last. In that grisly realization, Fate is awakened to his true potential. How many lives will he feed on to satisfy his hunger? And is the world ready for the frightening warrior he'll become? Bio talked a little bit about this one on a podcast recording when this license was announced, and it sounds pretty cool. Obviously a pure fantasy, not an isekai, and basically what Bio was saying is that part of the curse of this whole thing is that as he gets stronger, he needs to feed on stronger opponents in order to satiate that hunger. So it's not just good enough to kill anybody. You have to constantly push yourself forward to defeat stronger and stronger and harder enemies. So this, I think this could be cool. I mean, if it's just dark gritty for the sake of being dark gritty, but if it's dark gritty but with a cool story and an interesting character journey, this could be a really strong title. So definitely going to check this one out. Again, though, I'll probably wait until I can actually hold it in my hands in the print edition in January. So those are all the light novels making their debut in the month of October. Let me know, which ones are you really excited for? Which ones did you maybe hadn't heard of before, but now you're thinking, maybe I want to check that book out? Let me know in the comments down below. And remember, if you want to check out all the light novels that are releasing in the month of October and beyond, make sure you head on over to EnglishLightNovels.com to the pre-orders page, and you can see all of those things listed there. In the meantime, if you want to check out some other stuff, I've got some videos listed beside me on the screen here. You can check them out. Hopefully there's something that you enjoy. In the meantime, thanks for joining me in this video, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Till then, bye-bye for now.